when you make a compromise, it's short term. It's a short term solution. What you're really looking for is understanding. The point is not just to rectify that matter as soon as possible. That's how you have a compromise. Compromise when you're trying to, and in that moment, in that instance, you're getting it done right there. You're going to do something about it right there. But what you're looking for is longevity. So you bring this back around, okay, we got issues going on with our work schedule, you sit back and be like, hold up. She missed me. Yo, Rocky coming. Honesty on the table. Gentlemen, we back.
What's going on, brothers?
Man, hey. We was just jamming. Man.
Hey, we back. Hey, we back. We was jamming.
Hey, man, shout out to Skate Zone, man. Back in the day,
shout out to Teen Nite, Skate Zone, man. 7:30. 7:30 to midnight. They kick us out by 11:30.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
They finish us off with that gospel.
They didn't really get started to about. They didn't really get started.
It's time to go, y'all.
It's time to go. Or they start fighting. We sit down. We get cussed out.
Yeah.
Get that daddy talk. He play gospel.
Do y'all want y'all daughters going to the skating ring like that?
Hell yeah. What you mean?
Nah,
bro, I want to listen.
She going.
I need my people
on the south side.
She going to skate.
She going to skate.
And we going on Tuesdays or Wednesdays.
Because, bro, it used to be crazy. We couldn't wait.
Once she get up there, then I'm gonna take her. We're gonna go to Cascade on the Sunday. Yeah, that's about as ratchet as gonna get.
You know what's funny, man? I wouldn't mind my daughter having a good time, man. Because we had a good time.
Because they're gonna have it in front of you, or
it's gonna happen in front of you, behind you, bro. So I'd rather just be like, I want to go to such and such. All right, well.
I'd rather support it from a distance.
Are you going? What you gonna do for real?
Would y'all ever end up there too? Like without your child knowing, let's say your daughter go into the skating ring. Y'all know how it was on the south side. You know somebody
to work. If she my text message in 5 minutes, I mean,
what are you saying? Wait, like, we just pop up on her?
Yeah, just
nigga, like you ain't respond to my text message in 5 minutes.
What?
Absolutely.
Come on, it's not on like I don't trust my daughter type shit. It's just like me being protected.
Yeah. If you don't respond to my text message in 5 minutes, I'm walking up in there.
I'm gonna let you do your thing, As long as I don't get nothing crazy, but like...
You know what's crazy, though? Even when the parents were there, they still couldn't find their child.
It was so many of us.
That is a fact.
It was so many of us.
That is a fact, bro.
It was going, the lights was off. It was just on some green light shit. And you just see kids,
swarm people in the middle.
In the middle, bro. We covered the whole middle, bro.
So what the parents do when they walk in and they see the kids?
Nothing. He'll have to call on the mic.
Yeah.
And you know your challenge thing. You call them on the mic. Michael Crane, can you... Man, you still on the floor with it,
Mom.
Yeah.
Girl don't even know your first name that's working on you. You gonna stay focused.
You gonna do that look back. They gonna look at you.
They look back.
And I'll be sweating, bro. I'll be scared. I'll be like, please.
And then sometimes it be the peer pressure because they see one.
The girl group.
When one of them got somebody, the other one just kind of sitting there. Then when the homeboy come up, then it's tag team.
Yeah, it's always tag team.
It's always tag team on that.
That was definitely a good effort.
Shout out to the days we used to get behind a girl and she get that look first of like, that nigga look good or not? All right, I'm gonna keep twerking on it.
Yeah. Oh man.
Honesty on the table.
Honesty on the table, man.
You know
where we cultivate a space.
That's how I got used to rejection, bro.
Vulnerability, transparency, and humble curiosity, man. You gotta be humble and you gotta be curious getting behind that thing.
Like, she look at you, boy, be like,
serve as healthy roots for individual and collective progress, because we all made it. We all made it. Fact though.
To be hurt, bro.
It builds character, bro.
I ain't gonna lie, my feelings to be hurt.
But you know the crazy thing is, it was a temporary hurt though. Because as soon as she left, you went to the next one.
It wasn't temporary. It wasn't temporary when your homeboys laugh at you.
That's different.
Bro.
And everybody get the twerk but you.
Okay, that hurts. That's a different level.
You're the only one. Everybody else in the twerk group but you.
But you. You some reason you always get that one friend that just wanna Don't want to be with the shits.
Bro, imagine being the nigga that got to hold the nigga getting the twerk.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong
It depends
with
on
that.
the group. It depends on the group size.
Yeah, it ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying?
But I was going for them killers though when I was in there.
Gotta go to the finals.
bro,
Gotta go for the dimes. Gotta go to the dimes first.
Fines? I was going towards that. I
dimes
was going
first.
for the dump truck, brother. That's it. Because the dump truck didn't really have no standards. Because she was already busting in the face a little bit. What's she gonna say no to me
I
for?
don't even recall what faces look like.
It was dark.
That's a good point.
You know what's funny?
But the final was always dressed a certain
They
type of way,
did.
bro.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
But I think the finer they was, the worse the twerk was.
Oh man.
Nah. I feel like the bigger the dump truck, the worse the twerk was.
See, I don't agree with that.
That's when
the
I got
big dump
exposed
truck, that's
to
when you-
smells too.
That's when you gotta goddamn.
So what smells?
Because it was sweating. It was hot. It was hot in that
You know,
motherfucker. It
a
was
shot of
hot.
Karen, you know.
They ain't had fans in the middle
That's
of that
true.
damn
You're
floor.
right. They used to
Yeah.
get. Oh yeah.
It was hot as hell. All the fans was on the edge, on the outskirts.
You sweating too.
You know them girls that used to working, boy. They be like this, but before they did.
You know what's funny? My savage ass will still get behind them too. I see their ass sweating. I'm like, yeah, you put in some word on me. You got time for me. I'm jumping behind your ass.
That shit was crazy.
Yo, man. So gentlemen, man, this chapter 2. We're gonna do this season in chapters, right? Because we understood that we got to build on the conversations from like prior conversations because we got to connect dots. We got to see how we ended up here and why we had the thoughts we had. But we got to give you the microdoses. Last episode, we just gave the general overview, which was the 4 stages. You got the dating, getting to know, which was a non-monogamous space. And then if you decide to be a little more exclusive with the person that you feel like you're feeling, then you start to court them. You know what I mean? That's the courtship phase. And then after that, if you feel like, you know what, let's take this exclusivity matter to the next level, you find yourself in a relationship. You have 2 consenting adults, 2 responsible, self-aware, emotionally intelligent, which we'll get to, adults. And then they say, okay, let's get into a relationship. The problem? Somewhere along that dating phase, that get to know phase, we start touching, we start hunching, we don't hold each other accountable, we just start going about our business, acting as if everything's everything, but we didn't have that conversation about where we going. You're gonna find yourself in a situationship. You're gonna find yourself in a place where it is semi-monogamous.
Place of no return.
Place of no return. One person has one view, the other person has another view, and if y'all ain't disclosing where y'all actually going, y'all gonna stay in that situationship, to which I say is the devil. You find yourself in the fiery pits of hell because you ain't never really comfortable in the situationship. So you gotta choose. Either you're gonna be non-monogamous, you're gonna be out here and learning to live in your life in the dating, getting to know space, or you're gonna start to take somebody seriously enough when you dating them, courting them, that's monogamous. And then you want to make it super, super real, you just take it to the relationship, which is monogamous. And then inevitably, hopefully, everybody gets the fairy tale they want, the forever that they want, and they have the marriage. But we're going to dial it all the way back. Let's just start dating. Let's just start in the beginning. Let's just start, you single, you out in the streets, and you seeing folks, you seeing folks that catch your eye, you catch theirs. And then you have that initial encounter. You have that initial encounter and the getting to know phase and dating. Mind you, we all non-monogamous here. We all non-monogamous. We don't owe nobody nothing. We're just trying to get to know and see where it goes. Let's talk about it. Dating. Who would kick that off?
So what do you think is a good place to go for a first date? When you thinking about a first,
I can tell you the worst. I can tell you the worst spots.
Okay,
In Atlanta.
Worst place in Atlanta.
You in Atlanta.
All right, never go see a movie on the first date.
Okay.
All right, because you got to talk to each other. You're
Right.
watching the movie the entire time. Trust me. All right, I did that dumb shit, and I went to jail. All right,
Hold on.
we're gonna talk about that story later.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about,
You went to the
You know what I'm
movies and you end up going to jail.
bro.
Wait, was this on the south side though?
Nah, this is in Atlanta.
This is what?
But downtown, like
Atlanta Station?
You went to movie tavern.
Yeah, I went to the movie tavern.
How about Piedmont Park?
Yeah. Okay. And I ended up going to, we ain't gonna talk about that. Movies is one of the worst spots.
Yeah.
All right. I would say Juicy Crab.
Yeah, nothing messy.
Nothing messy, bro.
You saying juicy,
bro?
Not a messy dinner.
Have you went to Juicy Crab?
Of course.
What kind of conversation goes on when you eat?
boy? What?
Cracking.
We talked about everything.
Really?
Absolutely.
I'm in there like.
Yeah, she was getting to it. I like to see. Let me see you in your natural habitat. Let me see what's going on, man.
Oh,
Let me,
okay.
yeah, let me
That's
see.
different.
I like to see the raw.
What'd you say?
That's a good perspective.
Yeah,
But I wouldn't.
I wouldn't do that on the first date though.
First date.
I
I
wouldn't do it on the first date.
wouldn't get messy like that.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
I'm
get
not
messy
doing that
like
on the
that
first date.
on the first date.
But I'm just saying, most women, they love some seafood.
Oh,
For sure.
They they going.
But I got to see you in your non-natural environment before we're ready to see that shit.
They leaving all,
Bro, it's different,
They
bro.
leaving all types of goodness in that crab and that crawfish, and I'm judging you.
Don't let them dip it in. Come on, man.
If you ain't
You
doing
think it's
what
that
you're
bad?
supposed to do.
You seen that bad? Like,
Bro, I've seen it that bad without the gloves, without the bib.
yeah,
All right, so you saying movies? No messy restaurants.
No messy
no
restaurants.
messy restaurants.
All right, any others? Look, got any spots you wouldn't take for the first date? Concerts. Anything that could be distracting.
Concerts.
Why concert?
Because it's loud.
It's no different than the movie.
It's like it's
But
distracting.
you have more
distracting.
but you have more interaction
You
though.
can't talk. The whole point of the first date is to get to know. It's not much we can get to know, but we might vibe to your point.
Right.
But we're not getting.
I get what you're saying. I think a concert would, if you were to do it on the first time, should be after it should be in the day.
All right, only concert vibe that would be cool for a first day is on some music midtown type shit.
Yeah.
Where we can walk away.
And it's not
we
too
can,
loud. It's not too loud.
Oh,
we
you
can
can-
pick.
you
pick
come
our.
back.
We can
Yeah.
we
I
can
get what
pick
you're saying.
It's not drowning
our
out.
surroundings and our
That's a good
environment based on what we want.
Because it's okay, we've seen this person perform, we can go get some drinks, maybe we can talk, and then come back to another.
Right.
You
Go
can
get
lose.
food.
You can lose your chick at a concert.
That's crazy.
Because again,
If
like
you
you
lose
said,
your chick at a concert, nigga,
think about it. You have no leverage. They don't know you.
Yep.
You
That's
just
true. You
You
see
just
people-
you just eye candy. You just eye candy. Dude,
And I
that's
didn't
all.
know.
See what I'm saying?
I got a side question to that though. If you out on the first date with the chick, right?
Yeah.
And let's just say she sees another man, that she knows or whatever, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, hey," gives him a hug, but doesn't introduce you. How do you feel? Should you be introduced?
I introduce myself.
Should you be introduced at that point?
No, I introduce myself.
Okay. Should you introduce, so if the shoe was on the other foot, you don't think she would be upset that you didn't introduce her?
That's a double standard because you will have to some capacity.
Ladies, you heard that.
It's a double standard.
It's a double
It's a double
It is
standard.
a
As the
double
man.
standard. Huh? But I agree with you though. I agree with you on that part where it's I'm gonna introduce myself because
Right.
who the fuck?
And then I feel like that's just a challenge of
Yeah,
your masculinity.
checking you out, right?
Yeah.
Like trying to see okay, can he step up?
Right. Because she might not be thinking that, but from man to man, we know what's going on, and that's gonna let me know what type
Especially-
of nigga you is.
That's facts. And she's
And-
like, oh,
and
this is
how
my
hard
best
I'ma
friend.
actually, and how hard I'm gonna actually press this. Good to see you.
Right.
The next thing you know, if you ain't speak up, I'm bringing y'all drinks. You too. Suck ass nigga. Yeah, I'm bringing y'all drinks. And we gonna vibe together.
Alright.
And once you drop her out, guess who's pulling up?
Hey man, hey, watch your girl around this man, bro. That's wild.
Guess who's pulling up?
Me.
I agree.
But stuff like music McTown, something's cool. But no concerts.
Nothing that can drown out the
Yeah,
conversation.
drown out the conversation.
Is that it?
Pretty much.
So we said no loud. So basically, no places with loud,
No
Anything.
noise or
even a loud lounge.
personal
Yeah, no
interruptions.
Yeah, no, agree.
No noise or personal interruptions. Personal is like back to the crab. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you cracking, you know what I'm saying? Like
So no food.
no personal interruptions. Like you can, you know what I'm saying, have some salad, take a bite, but your fingers ain't dirty. You ain't
Dinner
looking for
is
extra
cool.
garlic butter. You ain't got grease all on
Juicy
you.
crab is a lot.
But you know why I don't like dinner though? As far as like an initial date, is because that after dinner.
You feel like it's setting up a.
Well, so it's either. I guess you look at it as two different sides, right? You got after dinner because there's an awkwardness of are we doing something afterwards, or
Always.
So dinner always comes with something else. That's what we're agreeing upon.
Yeah,
For sure.
Okay.
typically, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I agree with that though.
So normally on your first date, you want to do your first date 6, 7 o'clock. The first
I like
date.
6. I like 6.
As y'all grow, then the dinner times will get later because at this point, we know where we going to the crib, or I'm going to your crib, or You know, we got more of a comfort for each other where we can go to a club or to a lounge, somewhere loud where we can just vibe, smoke hookah, whichever situation.
I would say that the best advice is to always have that backup after the dinner. All right, I've been in situations sometimes where I'm just like, shit.
Yeah, of course. Like,
a
bar lounge is always,
like, what you want to do?
That's where a bar lounge is preferred, because at that point you already had the conversation initially. You had to get to know in that dinner, and the dinner should be, I would say, if you really... How long does that dinner date go for y'all?
2 hours. 2 to 3.
How long it should go?
All right, man.
Really?
We pulling up at 7. We pulling up at 7. We out of there by 8:30 now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Depending on the conversation.
Can it be too short?
It can be.
Depends on where you go.
If there's nothing following up after.
And a conversation. Because sometimes, I mean, it could be a dub. Like, because, you know.
You can already know.
I could. So, how quick into a
What's
date?
the threshold? What's the threshold?
Let's go with that.
What's the threshold?
Because at that point, once you realize that, then the other plans change, right?
Absolutely. It's nothing.
I'm already.
Wait, another question.
Plan B female.
So, okay, before you get to plan B female, though, do you have like based upon like the interaction on that particular date, let's just call it dinner, right? Do you have like 2 different plans? Like, we had a plan of like the date was going great, and I knew like we vibe and we smooth it, we go into a lounge, right? Where we can vibe, listen to music, whatever. But if it's not going great and it is more so of like, I need to do a little bit more, do you have like another plan for that? Or is it just like, I just dub the entire thing?
A little bit more in terms of like, I need to converse with this person more.
Yeah, it's like you know, instead of going to a lounge, we might go to Botanical Gardens.
No,
walking and talking.
What I do is I ask them, hey, like, I like the vibes you got. You want to do another round? Ask for another, you want to do another round of drinks. You want some dessert. I'll try to like maximize on that space because we gained that momentum in that space. So I would try to extend it there by saying, hey, you want to do another round? Like some dessert, and then they'd be like, "Oh no, we cool, I'm good." Okay, from there, then shit, I could be old school with it and be in the car, talk with you, crack the music, play, crack the windows, play our own music, I vibe.
Any woman that you do that to is like, it most likely is going to be a girl. Like, if you know what I'm saying, like in the sense of like, if you get to that space, bro, every chick I've ever done that with, where it's like we just talked in the car for 2 or 3 hours.
Not necessarily.
She ended up becoming my chick. Or like somebody that's just like a long term.
She might just be
a part of the team. A good vibe. She just be a good time. She ain't got to necessarily be the girl. You don't know yet.
I don't know, bro.
Because again, that's still the first date. We still talking about the first date.
Y'all ever sold dreams on the first date?
Nah.
Like came into contact with a chick, like, yeah, nah, this it. We.
That's what you do.
No, wait, no, I didn't hear that. What you talking about?
Porter, be calling it, bro.
It's over with.
It's over with.
Porter, man. I don't know.
What did you say?
Like, I'm talking, like, dreams, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's, okay, we vibing. It just depends on what the energy is.
Give me an example of a dream. Like, talk to me. Sell me a dream.
Nah.
But it's not like
it's in flow. Jay, you was with me. I was dreaming.
Say so.
I was dream selling.
Right?
Yeah. But I meant it though.
For sure.
I meant it in that moment. In that moment,
add a little stardust. Add a little stardust on top. A little more garnish. You had to garnish. You had to garnish on a good meal. Nigga.
Now, could that change the next day? It could. It could.
You will have valid reasons to explain.
Valid reasons to explain and justify the change. Yeah. Okay. Just ask.
You said, and I thought because we.
Perfect segue, bro. That's CCU.
Oh, we talking about dreams. Okay, we talking about that type of.
That's a perfect segue.
Oh, okay.
That's a perfect segue.
Do I sell dreams like? Nah, I don't sell dreams. Yeah, but listen, bro. Hey, disclaimer. I'm a little slow. All right. It's been that way for a long time. I ask questions for clarity. All right. I would not apologize.
I was like trying to say it way. I was trying to let Jay say it.
Because when Mike said.
So that's the thing, right? So we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about that CCU. Well, but first, let's Lo, go ahead and introduce the original acronym
was the triple C's. So we had communication, we had consistency, and we had compromise. So with the new and improved through experiences, we came up with the CCU. So CCU is still communication, still consistency. We drop compromise, and the U is understanding.
It was funny. I don't know how it happened. I think it was me and you were just on the phone, whatever like that, right? We were just talking and shit. Talking about our encounters, you know what I'm saying, with our women and whatnot. And then it got to a point where, you kept saying, like, it was triple C's, man. You got to do compromise, communication, consistency. And I was like, it's something about that compromise I never liked.
I do remember this conversation.
I never liked compromise because it's power laden. What does that mean? It means whenever somebody has made a compromise or whenever you made compromises, it's first and foremost, compromises are short term. Compromises are supposed to be meant for short term, meaning, I'm trying to think of an example. You have your work schedule, your partner has their work schedule, y'all constantly clash over work schedules because y'all want to have more quality time, right? And let's just say for you, you feel like, hey, I'm doing what I can to make quality time. We look at our schedules, we're doing the best we can. And then she's like, well, no, I feel like more could be done. I feel like you could take advantage of this, you could take advantage of that of your time, and I think that will give us a little bit more. And so you're like, you know what? All right, I'll compromise with you. I'll make this adjustment to my schedule, and it will align with yours, and then we go from there. But when you make a compromise, it's short term. It's a short term solution. What you're really looking for is understanding. So when that partner comes to you and is saying, hey, like, I feel like our work schedules is this, I feel like we need to do things that are more conducive for us both. You got to think about it and sit back and be like, okay, I'm not just trying. The point is not just to rectify that matter as soon as possible. That's how you have a compromise. Compromise when you're trying to, and in that moment, in that instance, you're getting it done right there. You're going to do something about it right there. But what you're looking for is longevity. You're looking for something that is sustainable. So you bring this back around, okay, we got issues going on with our work schedule. You sit back and be like, hold up. She missed me.
She just want my time.
She missed me. She misses us actually getting dolled up, dressed up, all this other stuff. You got to look behind. You got to see through the issue. You got to see through that initial conflict and get down to the root of what it is and solve that. When you solve that, you have a shared understanding. Because from there, in that aspect, you tell your mate, hey, like, I hear you, I see you, but also you got to understand, with my work schedule, I got these things going on. I got these things lined up. And then from there, y'all are having a conversation. Y'all are communicating and trying to work through how did y'all arrive at that conflict and how y'all can find a solution that will be sustainable for both of you, which means y'all have reached an understanding, not just a quick fix. Okay, cool. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna make this adjustment. I'm gonna make that adjustment just so I don't have to hear your mouth or just so I don't have to deal with this today. That's a compromise.
So understanding really just has empathy in it versus.
No, understanding just has understanding.
It's rooted.
It's rooted in the level of, so like with compromise, to like break it down in simpler terms. Typically, when you compromise, you're basically doing something that you don't want to do, because you was naturally come to the work because you were naturally scheduling your time and you was doing the things that you wanted to do. So usually with compromises in relationship wise, we switched it up because usually with compromise comes later on. Far as the short term is a result of long-term resentment. But when you understand the situation, then to your point about you're empathizing with your partner, it's more of an understanding. So it's like, okay, baby, I'm doing this for you, in which you can see a mutual benefit of the understanding. Which now, when you make that decision or you make that adjustment, it's for, you know what I'm saying? You see it for the both of you.
Because at the end of the day, it's coming from a pure place.
Correct.
Like you said, compromising is like,
it's
I'm just doing it to shut you up.
Correct.
Or to stop the noise. Instead of, like you said, truly being like, you know what? My baby just want to spend some time with me. You know what? Let me change it.
You know what? I want to spend time with them.
Yeah.
What works for us both? And it's no pressure. It's more patient. It's more gradual. It is, you really are taking the time when you are communicating and conversing about the conflicts you have with each other's work schedule. For this instance, you're thinking about, damn, we both have to achieve the understanding that we're not maximizing on our time together as much as we would like to. That's the point. That's the overarching point to reach that understanding. Hey, we're not maximizing on our time together. How would you like these things to work? How would I like these things to work? And you will find more similarities and overlap. Mm-hmm. But you have to be willing and patient enough to have those conversations. But when you're in the midst of conflict, you just try to get that shit out the way. You ain't really trying to sit down and talk about it, be long drawn out. You don't want to, peel back the layers because you just, hey, it's life. You may not have the patience at that time. So that's why it's best, again, to think about if you ever settling for a compromise, it's short term. You have to be able to circle back to it and be able to address the real root of that conflict to avoid, to Lowe's point, that long-term resentment, the long-term, I compromised this for you, I did this for you. Or I did this for you, And you just like, well, I didn't actually do that, or, you know what I'm saying?
That's exactly what
you didn't have to do that, or And you're just like, hold up, like, I thought we had an understanding. No. I compromised for you. Mm-hmm. That was a compromise. That's something, we agreed to it, but, they said that. We agreed to it, but I really wasn't really. And you just like, what? That's when you had a compromise. One person compromised themselves for someone else's benefit or someone else's gain, not because they actually felt it was conducive for them. And relationships, I'm sorry. I mean, we ain't racking up the scoreboard or nothing like that, but relationships are built on reciprocity. Mm-hmm. So if I'm making this concession for you, I need you to meet me halfway. Now, that halfway shit should be rooted in understanding. No one should have to feel like I'm making this concession and I'm the only one making this sacrifice and the other person's just sitting there having no energy to give in return, nothing else to give in return. That's how the resentment starts. So it's best to just go ahead and just deal with the conflict and deal with that matter and then just talk about it and then reach a true understanding for where y'all both can go together to both of your benefit.
Right, and I think a lot of times it's understanding the value of what the other person is having to adjust. Because a lot of times, yes, that woman may want to spend more time with you in that particular context, but she may not even understand, as you mentioned, why your schedule is the way that it is. So making sure you are able to explain the rationale that underlies the decisions that you make also informs that woman of your leadership capabilities and all of the different things that you're governing and how you're administering what you have going on in your life. And I think also from another angle, when you're talking about that value exchange in terms of reciprocity, sometimes this person adjusting their schedule, it won't necessarily have a negative consequence attached to it versus the other person. This may impact their cash flow. This may impact, the prime time where they could be accelerating and learning whatever this particular skill is. So having the conversation to where both parties understand what they're giving up in a sense, not necessarily giving up, but just in a sense of that exchange, so that it can be clear between
like what they're adapting to.
Yeah,
that's where that communication comes in.
Yeah, exactly.
What they're adapting to. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to. We inherently selfish as people, right? Rightfully so, because God gave me this body, God gave me this mind, God gave me this social security number. So I think you work from the inside out.
Gave us free
so
will.
it's like you thinking about how is this beneficial for me first, and then everything else second. So with that being said, when you're making a compromise, you're always thinking about. That's why I said compromise is power laden, meaning that when you have power, that means you have leverage against this. You have influence against that. So when you're making a compromise, you're looking like this person has more an advantage or an advance on this area than I do. This person has an excess of time on their hands and space than I. Does it make sense for me? Hell no, but I'm gonna keep my mouth shut because I'm in a relationship and you make sacrifices and all that other bullshit that I don't subscribe to. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't have to make sacrifices unless you have an understanding collectively on where you're going. And instead you're making necessary deposits. I want to say call it a sacrifice. If again, y'all both had an understanding of where y'all are going, what y'all are doing, why, based on each person's values, principles, lifestyles, insecurities, sense of pride and self. You have to embrace all of that. And if you're not, you're going to find yourself in a position where you're going to have a lot more conflicts that are rooted in compromise instead of understanding and solutions.
So with the CCU, how do we apply that to dating and picking or selecting, our woman or women's of choice?
You apply CCU when you dating, it's simple. Because like you said, we got the consistency and the communication. And based on, like, so for instance, right, like we all see some people we like, man. You know what I mean? They're attractive, we attractive, cool. We exchange IGs, exchange numbers, cool. From the time in which you get that initial line of contact on, you started the clock for communication. You started the clock for consistency. You started the clock for an understanding. Mm-hmm. Because you broke that initial barrier to where I know you more than just your first name. I actually now have your point of contact, and now I'm also referring to our first engagement together, usually that first date. The time in which they get that number in IG and you get it to the time y'all had that date and so forth, you're on the clock.
So really, basically,
how consistent you are in communication? Are you responsive on text message? Are you responsive through call? Are you responsive through FaceTime? Based on your schedule, are you gonna hit me back today? You gonna hit me back tomorrow? You gonna hit me back in 20 minutes? You gonna hit me back in 5 seconds? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, all those things are up for evaluation, and just as much as they are doing it to us, we're definitely doing it to them, because that shit matters. How we value ourselves and our time, and how you respect us in our time, is all rooted in that communication and consistency.
Now, the element of the game is within this, right? Because going back to the idea of dating and courtship, essentially, in an overall context, that's a gaming process. So there are rules to this. And so a lot of times when we just put this in practical terms of what happens in those settings, a woman may gauge how she communicates with you based on however it is that she's feeling in that moment, right? So it might be a situation where if she thinks that you're responding too quickly, she may realize you might not just be her type just based on that. Based on how simple that communication is. If you're too responsive, she's like, hey, he ain't, depending on what her mindset is. Right. But then some other instances, if you're not responding quick enough, then she's like, oh, he must not be interested. I think so. Like, how do you apply the principles of the game within the context of what we're saying? Because that happens.
I think it just has to do, going back to part of the C's, right? Communication, right? I mean, you could tell based off a conversation and you interacting with that person, like, are they a fast texter? Do you like calling? Do you like talking on the phone? Which one do y'all like? Y'all talking or texting? Which one? Does it matter? Both?
Whatever.
See, I'd rather FaceTime. I'd rather Face you face to face, because with text messages for me, you know how people are like, oh, why are you talking to me like that? It's like, I'm just texting. There's no emotion into my text messages. So I'd rather FaceTime. For some people, especially women, bro, hey, what you doing? You gotta make an appointment.
FaceTime is intimate.
But during that conversation, that initial conversation, especially when being consistent, you're gauging that, right? Like, okay, well, she doesn't text. She only likes shit. Did you know somebody, bro, that just like you to pull up? There was somebody that just like strictly just like you to pull up. They don't like talking, they don't like texting. I just want you to pull up on me. So I think it's just during that conversation you're able to gauge and see where that person's at, and also if it's compatible with what you do. Because again, going back to the compromise thing, I'm not going to compromise the way I communicate just because you don't like the text and I like the text. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's just finding that middle ground, or seeing, if it's worth it, or if you have that understanding of changing your ways, my brother, if she's fine enough.
Nah, I scale that from the initial conversation of bagging her. You can tell by how the vibe of your conversation went when you initiated to reach out to that woman, and y'all engagement is going to tell you what type of communicator she is. So, for instance, if like you bagged a woman and y'all,
you think
you break the ice, absolutely.
Before they reach some type of level of comfort with you, because people open up more when they feel more comfortable.
I get that, but a talkative person is going to be talkative no matter what. A communicative person that's like communicating is going to be communicative no matter what.
So you telling me you never met a chick that was like, kind of regular, and then once she got to know you and open up to you, then she decided to like, okay, I can let my guard down a little bit, take these shoulders and, relax them a little bit because I got to know you. I'm giving you that access now. Because some people can not have that communication because they didn't give you access yet. But then once they give you that access, it's like, okay, he a cool dude. Now I'm totally different. Like, no, maybe. Y'all think so?
It depends, bro.
Yeah,
but
it's
that talker is that talker, bro. And that's gonna. But that just to my point, that's gonna tell you whether you should call or text. Is what I'm saying. So if I'm coming to the person that you're talking about that has a certain level of comfort, this, that, and the third, then I'm gonna text her, of course, because I know the conversation was struggling a little bit when I was initiating. But if we vibed and we was hee hee ha ha, and you like, damn, it's been 20 minutes, you got somewhere to go? Oh yeah, go ahead and your business. I'm sorry, I ain't mean to hold you up. Then I know, like, bet. I'm calling her when I get off work, like, hey, what you doing? Shit, yeah. So what we was talking about, yeah. Or, and then if you do call and she answers, she might be happy to talk to you, and then she might be like, oh, well, I'm in the middle of something, I'm just going to call you back. But you set that tone. So I scale it from the initial.
So how do y'all deal with not getting a call back? Like, let's say a woman is out, she, would you all follow up?
Yep,
For sure.
Okay.
follow up, niggas. Following up is key.
It is the key.
Like,
That's what I was about
I
to
learned
get
that
to.
from him.
That's what
I learned that from this nigga.
That's what I was about to get to. I was about to get to.
This is
It's key in business and relationships.
Bruh.
Definitely business, for sure.
The
follow
follow
You gotta follow
up
up,
is key.
Get out your feelings, bro. It's okay.
It's okay.
Facts.
It's called, bro. It's okay.
Because sometimes life just gone.
Life is gone, bro.
And
you have not made that stepping stone to even be priority.
And another thing too is that you never know where like in business, right?
Mm-hmm.
It could have been a no right now,
Right.
but a day now when circumstances change, it's like, what you doing?
They just came into some money.
It's
Just came into some money.
right. And then from a female perspective, it's like, oh, she might have had that one dude she was dealing with.
Right.
He done did some crazy shit. Now you hit her up. It's like, yeah, we can go out. Let's go out.
Perfect
Now
time.
next thing you know, you.
It is okay to follow up. Now,
How many times you texting back to back before without a reply?
So, new update. She got to be giving me the blues.
The blues.
So we talking about iPhone. The blues is
iPhone blues.
iPhone blues.
Ooh, blues.
Give me the blues, nigga. Like you text, hey, what's going on? Hey, how are you? Hey, what's up? Hey, you. Wave, whatever. Emoji. Come in with the Forrest Gump. Wherever you want to put in that bitch. And nothing.
Sorry to you Android users.
So,
You don't know what that looks like.
so from
Give you the greens. Give
Give
you
me
the
green.
greens.
get the greens. Let me get the greens.
Green eggs and ham.
yeah.
Green eggs and damn.
But so I say like back-to-back days, no response. I start to gap it out. So if I text you Monday, you might hit me, hey, but I don't get nothing after that. I follow back up on Tuesday. We get, hey, what's up? We get to what you're doing. You'll hit me back after that. After that Tuesday, I'm not hitting you back up to Friday. I'm automatically putting 48 to 72 hours on that conversation.
You know what's crazy? I don't judge like the response time on text messages until I go out with you. Like until like I can
So I break the ice.
Until we break the ice, I'm talking to you in person. I don't really care when like how as long as I can get to that point where we can go out and whatever. And now that I'm in person, we get to engage in person and socially interact. At that point, now you're giving me the blues. Oh yeah, you gotta go.
Nah, fuck that. I'm on your head from the beginning.
I'm saying like I'm on your head, but I guess what I'm saying is like I'm not in my feelings.
No, I'm not in my feelings.
You know what I'm saying? Like until like I'm in person with you. We went on a date, and now I was like, okay, so you know me a little bit more than just like conversating over the phone.
Honestly,
Yeah, it don't
I
matter.
think for me,
It's still a self-respect thing for me.
yeah.
It's still I'm a man, you're a woman, we're grown. So I'm still gonna hold you accountable to be at minimum an effective communicator.
So going back to what you said, right? Like if they don't do the back to back and you space it out.
I space it out.
That's what I do.
But
I do
before
the
I space it out, I'm gonna give a call. I'm gonna check the temperature now. If you ain't respond, I'm calling your ass.
A
So,
wellness check. I
what-
call it
wellness
wellness
check.
check.
What's the-
You never know what they could be going through. Like
Right,
you
right.
say, you know what I'm saying? So it's always good to still tap in.
Yeah.
So what is that conversation?
It's just like, hey, what's up? What's going on? It's the general
Okay, so
conversation.
you're not like telling them about like your
No,
communication.
they
Yeah,
obviously
no.
know. They obviously know what they've
they
been
know
doing.
why you calling, bro.
Because
That's
what they
true.
gonna
People
do.
know what they
What
do,
they gonna
bro.
Because what they gonna do after you get off the phone is what? They gonna go to the messages and see.
We delusional, bro.
They gonna see all the grays. They gonna see all the grays.
Yeah.
People are
See
delusional.
all the grays. And
I
they
just
be like,
said the play.
damn, I didn't.
I'm not gonna lie. For me, I don't even. It's difficult for me to be responding back and forth all day. I'm just gonna set the play. So
you give them the blues.
So automatically, I call. Hey, look, this when I'm free. You free at this time? Let's set it up, and then maybe randomly, think about you. Came across my mind. Woo, woo, woo. And then we set up the play. Once we set up the play, the way I typically communicate, because I have down periods where like I'm not working, it might be like 15, 20, 30 minutes. I might just be sending you stuff on IG, like I do in our group. That is like a way of communicating for me. I may just call you, I might send you like a voice memo or something like that. Right. But then I keep it moving. And then we on to the next thing. So
people voice memos, brother?
Yeah.
Really?
The voice memos.
Tell me about it, brother. I haven't got it.
The voice memo.
Wait, we're not talking about like the message little like talking.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
We know they got the FaceTime video memos now too.
Yeah.
Where you can record yourself, talk your shit, and send that video type shit.
Wait,
Make sure your phone's updated.
You update
the 17 or the 16.1?
Nah, just ISO.
Yeah.
I think it's whatever the newest one.
Yeah, it's updated. Just make sure it's updated.
Wait, where is that feature at though?
It's like on your text message. It might be. I think it's like a FaceTime.
Really? I did not know that,
The
bro.
voice memos is
I like the voice memo.
Do you do the ones where do you get rid of them? Like it just explodes away?
Do y'all keep it?
Do y'all keep it?
Where did they go though?
What do you mean? It stays in the thread.
You can get
No.
rid. I didn't even know you could get.
What are you
You
talking
can
about?
like save it, right? But
Yes,
what
you can
so
press
how do
keep.
you-
By pressing key.
But it saves into the
It just saves in the thread.
in the thread. Yeah.
Oh, I guess I keep them.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess so too. I ain't even.
It's just gone, brother. I said what I need to say.
And then you see them, they kept it. Either they kept it.
Nah,
or not.
okay, I see that all the time. I see that. Okay.
See, that backfired on me one
Okay.
time, bro. I was like, she kept. I was like, fuck. I was like, she gonna use this against me, nigga. I had to come back with it.
Anything you say can and will be used against you.
You know what I said to her after that? I said to her, Law and Order SVU. Get like, damn, girl, you gonna keep my shit like that?
That's funny.
I'm investigator, bro.
Nah, man.
What you talking?
Hey, FBI for real.
Yeah, man, for real.
Voice memos.
Yeah.
It's smooth.
But I am like, I'm the type just to pull up. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey.
All of that.
I think what matters most
Yeah,
is
it's just whatever the
what
vibe
matters
is,
most
whatever
is
we
just
on.
being sincere.
Yeah.
Being sincere. So like if you're the kind of person where you're busy, you're not able to get back to them right then via text message, phone call, FaceTime, where have you, and you say, you know what, I'll just run the play. That's what's best for you. They have to respect that. Now other folks
And
maybe
you're being accountable.
it's different. Yeah, you're being accountable to it. You're acknowledging some of the things that they may look forward to from you that you won't be able to give. As long as you acknowledge that and then you follow suit with action, you're fine. But when you don't do that, that's where you take hits in the CCUs. You take the hits because you're not communicating and you're not achieving understanding based on each other's values and lifestyles and perspectives, and then you're not consistent enough to be able to establish that respect so it can hold. So it's like, all right, if you don't have those things, then it's up to you. Now, again, got to say this for next episode.
Hey, we gotta be sure to subscribe, y'all.
Yes, click that button.
Yeah, be sure to hit subscribe, man. But last part, I'm gonna lead us on this cliffhanger. We're talking about double standards, man.
You didn't get to the candles and fuck. Okay.
We talking about double standards. We said
We didn't get to it.
We didn't get to like just like little things, you know, like after you ain't seen them for a little minute, you know what I mean? Pick them up a little, you know, here's some cheesecake, you know, like it was.
little
here's
gestures.
Yeah,
Are we gonna build? Are we definitely gonna build on
Here's
that?
some candles.
We're definitely gonna build on that.
You know
The
what I
dating,
mean? Just a little small, you know, nothing major.
the dating part, the dating part two.
We didn't
Dating
even
part two.
make it to the date.
Yeah, we
Dating
still
part two. We still on first date.
we still barely at the
We had the
almost
number.
at the exchange.
We had the number.
Oh, quick question.
We
Which
had the
one?
number IG exchange.
Which one is better for you guys? Number or IG? I like IG.
Whichever they prefer.
I like Instagram better.
Whichever they prefer.
I asked him to comfort actually.
But I was saying the double standard is we can't be inconsistent, but they can.
Absolutely.
I don't like that shit.
So
I don't like that shit.
So going back to what you said,
I don't like how we can't be inconsistent, whether for right or wrong reasons. When it comes to us communicating, getting to know in the beginning, but if they are inconsistent, we gotta chill.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I don't like that.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but like
We approached that.
But you said it earlier. You were like, "Hey, look, like we too old for that communication stuff, right?" Whereas like, so my thing is like this, right? Just a question.
Yes.
All right. Does it depend on the level of confidence within yourself or status within yourself versus just that? Oh, we're just the pursuers. Only example, right? For example, if I'm let's say I'm Drake, right? and I give you, does this say I'm Drake? I give you my number, right? No, I'm just being honest, bro. Like, we're nigga shit. Like, but does it say I'm Drake? I give you my number, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, you bullshit me with text messages, right? And then now you want to come up on, like, let's say I text you, you're not really talking about nothing, right? And then a couple days later, now you all up on me, whatever. I'm like, no, hey, listen, like, delete my number, right? Like, he can do that because he's Drake, right? Like, I have a level of confidence and status within myself. So, like, I guess my question is, like, at what point do we have that pride within ourselves? Like, you know what, like, bitch, like, nah, like,
it depends how
you can activate it. You can activate it at any.
We gotta be honest.
Okay, I agree with that.
You can activate it. I would activate it. Anybody can get it.
Anybody can get it, but it depends how fine she is, and what I want.
Okay. What about you, Joe? Well, like when do you take that? Like, you know what? Like, hey,
because I could be thirsty for certain ones, and I don't give a fuck.
It's at your discretion.
Okay.
It's at your discretion.
We all have those ones that we don't give.
But you do not want to be too consistent with that either. You know what I'm saying? It's a balance. You don't want to be too consistent with saying, okay, I'm me, and leaving everybody where they are. And then you don't want to be too consistent with always following up and pressing either. You got to
find that middle range.
You got to get a feel, and then from there you then build, and then as we start to like further communicate and understand, as we get it to know, we'll determine whether they ass get a green flag, whether they ass stay on red, or whether we put their ass to black.
They don't know about the flags yet.
And
they send their ass to black and they are excommunicado. Or whether they green and everything's a go.
As a go. There is power in the consistency of inconsistency. And I'll explain it.